This is.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Game Day with Trey. This your host, Trey. That's my homeboy, Face.
What up, world?
And we are here today to give you guys the reaction that y'all been waiting for. So as I went through the comments over the last few days, the other day I posted something giving a reaction and kind of giving you an update on exactly what was happening in the NFL and with specifically Dalvin Cook. All right. And in the comments, there was a couple of our subscribers that were wondering what exactly Faith thought about the situation with Dalvin Cook and what's going on with the running backs in the NFL right now. So, we're going to go ahead and talk about it, man. I'm going to give y'all exactly what you asked for. I also want to remind y'all, man, or let you know if you didn't know, right now, we got 48 subscribers, okay? We need exactly 50 subscribers in order to be able to go live, all right, and be able to do these things live every time and be able to get feedback, post when we're actually going to go live so you guys can come in and actually interact with what we have going on. So please like, share, subscribe. Let your peoples know what's
All that.
going on, man. If you like what we doing and you like what we talking about, man, if we giving you some locks when it's come times to talk about some betting stuff, then go ahead and share it, man. Let some other individuals take in some of the same amazing information that me and my homeboy Face have been providing you guys with over the last couple months. So let's go ahead and get this thing started, right? First and foremost, you can see I'm recording this from the car right now. That's because we do what needs to be done when it has to be done, man. You record it any way possible, get the information out there, and let the people consume it. All right. So I'm gonna give it to you, blood raw, right here. We talking about the running back free agents, and we talking about the top free agents in the NFL. So let's start with our number one free agent in the NFL, and he's not a running back. All right, his name is DeAndre Hopkins. D
The
Hop.
Hopster.
Now, D Hop has already been to Tennessee Titans and done a visit there last week. He did a visit this week with the with the Patriots today and yesterday, so that means he was there 2 days in a row, which shows a little bit of a commitment, considering the fact that Bill O'Brien is the offensive coordinator there, which is the coach that traded him away for a Slim Jim, a bag of chips, and some Doritos. Okay. All right, so at the end of the day, that tells me that DeAndre's kind of open to some more discipline, and he might not be looking for that 11 to 14 million that he was talking about. But what do you say, Face? I mean, I don't think that the Patriots is a good fit for trying to get to a Super Bowl. If you're just trying to get to a, I don't know, if you're just trying to get signed, then the Patriots are a good team. But really and truly, is that somebody that can take that leap?
I wouldn't go to the Patriots if I'm trying to win a Super Bowl, even though they don't want a lot of them. Even though they was in a lot of them, they won a lot of them. But I don't think this is the time to try to get there and get to the Super Bowl. So what he need to be looking at, Philly got some money. Philly be a nice fit. They got money. You got some other teams that got money, but they're not really Super Bowl contenders. So either you
Mm-hmm.
going to take a little bit of less money and get to a Super Bowl contender, or you going to get you some money and try to build one with one of these other teams. But as far as people who got money that's really in the race, I think Philly, Miami, um, it's a couple more of them. But if you, as far as winning the Super Bowl, that's kind of, you never could tell who's going to win no Super Bowl, bro.
Hold up,
It's
man.
about how you fit in at this team.
You don't think that he could jump in right now? He could parachute in right now, and I'm just going to give you an example because this is the number one team that I think he should go to. You don't think he could go to the Detroit Lions and set a precedence and give them an opportunity to get to the Super Bowl coming out the NFC?
But
They got
but
$27
ain't
million,
nobody talking about
man.
Detroit winning the Super Bowl. So guess what? But hey, they have put together a good team down in Detroit. They
I'm
have
not
put together a
saying
good
win
team,
one. I'm
and he
saying
would
at
be a
least
good fit.
appear. At least appear. He ain't even been in no Super Bowl. So right now, your goal should be at least get to the dang thing.
Well, that's a hell of a team to look at and make it to the Super Bowl. Huh? The Detroit
Hey,
Lions, even though
hey,
no, we
man.
know what's going on. We know what's going on with them far as The
Man,
pieces
look,
they put together
hold
down
on.
there.
Let me break it all the way down to you, man. The
Uh,
Detroit Lions got 20 between like 24 and
uh,
27 million dollars available. Okay, they got Amon Saint Amon Ra or Amon Saint Ra Brown or whatever the heck the boy name is. Okay, that play wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. They drafted Aiden Hutchinson last year. They got a good. They got Jack Campbell this year to shore up the defense. They went ahead and drafted them a corner as well earlier in the draft. They got one of the top five quarterbacks he said he wanted to play with, which is Jared Goff. He said he wanted to play with Jared Goff. All right, they got a good running game with Jahmyr Gibbs, and then they also got another good running back over there. They did lose Jamal Williams, uh, but at the end of the day, they still have a good running back team or tandem over there. That the trade they accomplished when they got rid of DeAndre Swift, okay, and trading him to Philly, they was able to acquire another draft pick, and that helped them out, man. Like I think personally, and plus they got Panay Soul over there on the offensive line. Like they got a good young team with cap money right now. They also drafted
mhm.
Hendon Hooker, okay, and I want to say the second or the third round out of Tennessee. That's that quarterback that tore his ACL. Now remember,
I know. Yeah.
before he was at Tennessee, he was at Virginia Tech, all right. And when he was at Virginia Tech, all he was known for was running the ball. But then once he got to Tennessee, he was a pocket passer. So the boy can do a little bit of both, all right. I'm not saying that they're a team that is going to win the Super Bowl this year, but what I'm saying is
No,
they are in
no,
the
I
bubble.
understand. No, Detroit been looking good for the past couple of years, getting better. I understand where you coming from when you say that, but most people, when you think about winning the Super Bowl ring, is what I'm saying. You don't
Yeah.
come up with the Detroit Lions. That's all I'm saying. So I know the pieces they. No, for real, I know the people, but for real,
Hey, a lot
The
of people
Lions
didn't
do
say
have
the
a good
Tampa Bay
team.
Bucks neither when Brady decided to come here. But you see what I got on.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like it's not always best, and it depends on what you're looking for as a player. So if you're looking to win a Super Bowl, hey, you might have to take a little bit less money because
Yeah.
like the teams that got all the money, they not in the race like that. Most of the Super Bowl teams that was in the last few Super Bowls, they got caps problems. So if you're just trying to get your money, you're gonna have to go to one of these other teams. If you want to win a Super Bowl, you might have to take a little bit less. But
Yeah.
you're taking a chance. You rolling the dice either way you
Oh,
go.
hold up now. Don't forget now the Jets got money out there too, man. The Jets actually got like 26 million. I
Yeah,
know for a
Jets
fact they
one of
got
the teams,
26. But
and
we're
they
gonna
got a
talk
nice
about a
little.
couple people they could add. Yeah, and they could definitely
They
use
got
another wide receiver, but since they got young boy Garrett Wilson over there, and they went and signed the two bums from Green Bay, Randall Cobb, which now no shade on Randall Cobb, he was a great player. I liked him when he was at Kentucky. You know what I mean? He's been that good of a guy. You know what I mean? But Alan Lazard, are you serious? Why in the world did they go sign Alan Lazard? I know he's friends with Aaron Rodgers, but you could have
but
used that money to go get somebody else.
I'm gonna tell you why they went and got these guys. Because for Aaron, they have been dependable. Lazard was doing, no, he was doing
He ain't never did a
good.
1,000 yards in his life. Boy ain't
Who?
never did a 1,000 yards in a season. Alan
But
Lazard in his life.
but you gotta understand the squad he was on too.
Man, I'm talking
They
life. I mean, when I say life, I mean college, high school.
but if your quarterback believes in him, then it's something because Aaron Rodgers really liked him. Aaron Rodgers liked him in Green Bay. I know Cobb been dependable. I know Cobb was there early on and did some things
Yeah,
for
but that was a
Aaron, but
long time ago. That was a long
that
time
was
ago,
seem like
man.
that seemed like they said
I'm not a, but
Reggie
that's a whole
Cobb.
nother life
They felt
ago.
like Reggie Cobb was still playing.
Exactly. For
uh,
real.
but yeah, D Hop, I don't know, man. You just got to go and see what you're trying to get out the market. If you're trying to get some money, you go to either one of these teams, and like you say, even if you do end up in over there with Jared Goff and them, that's a good fit. That's a good fit. You know the offense. You know you're gonna be involved in the offense, and you got a good rapport with the quarterback. I don't see why you wouldn't go there. You know what I mean? It's a chance that you can make it. Nope.
Yeah.
If not,
I'm Look,
if not,
we talking about the NFC, so it's deep. The NFC is deep, but it's not that deep. All right, there's
yeah, it ain't.
opportunity. There's definitely opportunity there to come through and do more than what is anticipated in the NFC. It's not the quarterback play isn't the same as what it used to be. I really
This
think
going
that.
this this gonna be an exciting season because you got so many different players in different places, and then you want to see what these rookies gonna do. You got uh, uh Houston Texans. I like what they did. I like the little picks they picked up. So I'm really anxious to see what this season gonna bring. By Tom Brady leaving, it opened up the NFC South a little bit, but I still see the Bucks as the number one or number two or three. And for real, I don't see nobody just like they say, oh, they're gonna fall out of grace so fast. It ain't nothing in the NFC that's really that scary as far as if the Bucks come and play with the people that we have, we still got a fighting chance.
Yeah,
So
I
they
definitely can
they just
agree
they
on
just
that.
feel
But
like Tom Brady only played the quarterback. Tom Tom Brady was
hmm
only the quarterback, which your team does go as far as a good quarter and a good quality quarterback is priceless. But at the end of the day, I feel like once you bring that culture, once your team gets accustomed to winning, I don't feel like it'll ever be the same old Bucks organization that people think we're going to revert back to. You know what I mean? That changed with Tony Dungy changed that. Tony Dungy changed that type of attitude and the culture as far as the winning mentality and wanting to win and expecting to win. Before Tony Dungy, it ain't matter we won or not. It was just the Bucks.
hmm
Love them or leave them. It was just the Bucks.
All
You know what
right,
I'm saying? So
all right. If that's the case with D Hop, man, and it's really truly now a one horse race, all right, most likely gonna come down to the Patriots. Probably gonna end up signing with them. Um, Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi, the quarterback there. What is it? Rashawn Stevenson, the running back. They still got Damian Williams. They're shoring up a little bit of their offensive
I
line or trying to do a better job on that. Matthew Judon
I
still out
think
there on
I,
defense.
I think this number two. I think the number two free agent is the one that people got to really worry about where he lands at. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because if
what about
Dalvin Cook,
since
if
you bring
Dalvin
up the
Cook,
number, hold up. Since you bring up the number two, we'll go ahead and get straight to him. Dalvin Cook's a number two free agent out there, consensus. Not just what we're saying. He is the consensus number two free agent out there. He was a surprise free agent because the Minnesota Vikings, all right, prior to the draft, started discussing the fact openly that they were looking into or were open to trading Dalvin Cook. Now, when you're talking about things like that, people start looking at the contract and what's actually available and what's going on at that time. Dalvin was due or set to make $14 million. Or $14 million against the cap, but $10 to $11 million. If he maxed it out, he would be 14. You know what I mean? That's what he was actually going to get this year. So on June the 5th or 6th, the Minnesota Vikings came out and they went ahead and released Dalvin Cook. Upon releasing Dalvin Cook, there was multiple teams that was interested in actually picking him up. First off, starting with the Denver Broncos, being the number one team that was anticipated to talk to him. Then after the Denver Broncos, it was the Miami Dolphins that was also on the list. And then after them, it was the Dallas Cowboys that was also on the list. And then after them, it was the LA Rams that was also on the list. Well, now Dalvin has come out and said that $5 million ain't enough for him. Don't even come to me, talk to me if you talking about 5 mil. Matter of fact, I want the same money I was finna get from Minnesota. I'm 28 years old. I rushed for over 1,100 yards for the last 4 seasons straight. I give you 15 every year. Okay, so at the end of the day, I'm worth about 2.3. And that's what I mean, not two, 10.3. I'm sorry, 10.3 is what I want. That's what Dalvin Cook say. So what that
hey,
did is that eliminated the Denver Broncos. They jumped out of it, even though they got the money to do it. They said, nope, we ain't doing it. Oh, I forgot to mention the Jets are also another team that he will fit in good with, and I'll tell you why in a second. But the Denver Broncos jumped out and dropped out. The Dallas Cowboys are still talking or in talks, but really not truly interested in paying $10 million to a running back when they already got Tony Pollard on franchise tag. All right. Um, Miami, Miami is a number one scheme fit for him. They run the same exact offense that he ran in Minnesota. Okay, so that means the zone, the zone run or gap run offense is what they basically ran. The same exact one. All right, so the best fits for him are the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets because both of them have the money to actually go get him, and they both run the same exact system that he ran in Minnesota. Now,
Well,
I think it's Miami or the Jets personally.
I'm gonna
What
tell
you
you like
think?
this. I'm gonna tell you like this. If he goes to the Miami Dolphins, it's gonna be a scary, scary thing for everything in the LC. Cause they got so much speed. You got all the speed at receiver. Now you
Yeah,
gotta account for their running back, a running game to open up these receivers. Miami boy, that'll be a scary, scary situation for anybody who has to defend the Miami Dolphins. They got too much speed with a running back like Dalvin Cook. That'll be a scary sight. I would have to really for real. You know, I call Dolphin. You got Dolphins. You got Dolphin. So
man,
you
I
know
call
some
them
of the,
porpoises. You know how I
some
call
of
them,
the no.
man.
I'm
But it
saying
is what it
some of
is.
the
No
Miami
disrespect
Dolphin
to Dolphin
fans
fans.
they
See what
some
I
of them
got
is
on?
just so foolish. It's every year. It's a Super Bowl. You ain't
That's what
been
I'm
to the
saying.
Super Bowl since 1972. That's why I say you got Dolphins and you got Dolphins. But I would probably become a Dolphin, not a Dolphin like far as my number one team, but I would be like paying attention to the Dolphins. I would really like start paying attention to them, like because like anytime else before then, you know you ain't stand a chance every year Super Bowl. But if they'll pick up Dalvin Cook, I'm gonna start paying attention to that Miami Dolphin team just because I feel like they'll be that good.
Man, I can
Them,
understand that.
I would really like to see that game because you got all the speed at receivers. They went and got they called the Legion of Zoom. That was their mantra last year for real. So if you
Yeah,
add somebody like Dalvin Cook, man, that's a scary offense to have to defend.
man. Look, Dalvin Cook.
That
Dalvin Cook. If he ended up with the Miami Dolphins, first and foremost, it gives a protector for Tua. They already got running backs there, but they don't have a running back that can do all three things. All right, they got running backs that can run. They got running backs with Devin A. Chain that they just drafted, running a 4.2 and 4.3 40. All right, they got running backs who can catch with Wilson Jr. that they traded for last year from the 49ers. And then they got the other running back that they got there. So they got three running backs there already. But none of them can do every single thing. Dalvin Cook is the guy who can do all and everything you could ever want. He is going to protect Tua. He's going to be a safety valve. He's going to be somebody the defense is going to have to worry about.
see
I think that would be the best fit unless he went to the Jets, man. I mean, like he's from
because
Florida, he's from Miami. That's
even
where I want him at. But the Jets with Aaron Rodgers replacing Brees Hall,
but I understand, but I feel like just from a player standpoint, the Dolphins would be a much he it's like just think about this. Aaron Rodgers, he up there and it's like I don't
who you
I don't
trust
feel like
more? That's what I'm gonna ask you. Who you trust more? You trust Tua or you trust Aaron Rodgers?
I trust Dalvin Cook of being way. I'm just. I mean, I was stumbling over my words
It's
because
okay.
I was trying to get to the point where I was saying Dalvin Cook is not just somebody the defense don't have to pay attention to. He's actually a game changer.
Yeah, I
So
know.
for him to end up in Miami, that would be. They already got different game changers in different facets of their offense. To put that with the running backs, you feel that they already got the youth at the running back, but to have a proven player like this that done gave you 1,000 yards or better for the last 4 seasons, to even come in and teach these dudes or groom these other running backs, that's an invaluable piece. because
I
now they know
know.
how to prepare and they know how to, like you say, he know how to do everything. He know how to block. He know how to. You feel what I'm saying? And he teaching these other running backs. They learning from him. That's going to make your team that much more better. I feel like it'll be more of a work in progress in New York, which it ain't a bad fit. You know what I mean? But I feel like it'll be just be because it's more focused on him. If you go to a team like Miami that got all these different offenses, it just makes y'all that more dangerous. And I feel like you have a bigger year in Miami. He's from Florida. The weather is better. You feel what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah,
You know
back in
how
the
it goes.
gunshot, be home. You know how that is, man. And he plays a position. He has two other running backs, possibly three other running backs that he could depend on to be able to share a little bit of the load while still getting to his money and possibly getting to a chip. I think the
In the
Miami
season.
Dolphins are on the cusp. I think they are on the cusp of possibly being able to actually make it somewhere, depending on whether or not they can protect Tua.
I think Tua in a couple more years he gonna be like Muhammad Ali. If he keep taking over, I promise.
Man, you for
No,
real?
man, you know he was playing almost a half a season not knowing he just had a concussion, or the
Man,
doctors
look.
ain't telling.
Brother, brother, do you not
So
remember when? Do you not remember when Troy Aikman was a quarterback? You
Trey,
remember how many concussions Troy Aikman had? What about Steve Young? Steve Young had a boatload of them too. All
well,
right,
but
like a
now that they
boatload,
know, but guess what?
boatload. We
Oh,
didn't know then. We didn't know then. I'm not saying
that,
that, but what I'm saying is they continued to play for over a decade after all
but
that, into all that. That don't mean
but
you can't continue to play. You know what I'm saying?
but
Like
I
it's
don't
his
think they're
choice
gonna.
on whether or not he continues to play.
I don't think they're gonna allow you to continue to play that, knowing what they know now, as far as with the CTE and all. You feel what I'm saying? It's a difference. They try to protect the quarterbacks a little more. That's why they had a protocol for the concussion protocol, so they can't just say put me back in the game. You feel what I'm saying?
No,
But
they put.
I know
I dig it and I understand. I
they saying
just
that.
I've
No, what I'm
had
saying is
concussions,
this.
brother.
I know, but he can't keep suffering these concussions and think that he's gonna have a lengthy good career. You have to protect yourself a little more. Or what I'm saying is his career is not going to last as long. You know what I mean? They got to protect the players now. Before they knew all this about the brain and what it was doing to their brain, they allowed them to play through these different things. So I'm saying the NFL is going to end up stepping in. They were saying that about them last year. Like somebody should have stepped in. Maybe the doctor should have informed. You feel what I'm saying? So I just feel like he need to protect himself a little more and stop taking the headshot, or he
Well,
ain't gonna be around.
the best way for them to protect them is to get somebody who can cover that blind side. And remember, he's a left-handed quarterback, so he's going to be facing in the
But
opposite
that,
direction. So that
but
blind side for him is his right tackle. Now, if you can't get him a great right tackle, then what you can do is you can get a running back who can block and pick up that blitz. Because
that's what I'm telling you.
and
That's
that's
why I say
why
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin makes sense there. I'm just not sure if Mike McDaniel is going to be willing to spend the money that Dalvin is talking about he wants. This could be a play
But
for more money by Dalvin, but is it? You know?
you got to think about it though. It's a comfort level too. Dalvin might take the money that they telling him to be closer to home. To be, you feel what I'm saying? That's
Hmm.
just him speaking out far as like you say. I'm not gonna tell you I'll take 5 million. No, I want what I want, but at the same time, the right spot I would take a little bit less for my comfort level. You feel what I'm saying? And I was
Hmm.
saying Tua, they need to take Dalvin, get Dalvin down there because he can block, and that'll help keep your quarterback off the ground. That's what I was saying about Tua. That'll be a better pick to take him to help him protect your quarterback who been having these issues with concussions already. If you get a running game to help you, you know that'll be a better situation for the Dolphins, as far as if they do pick Cook up.
And look, it's gonna be a crazy, crazy summer. Is all I can say. All right, because he still ain't even set up for a visit from not one place yet, which is also very troubling for his situation. I know that he's probably trying to miss out on these mandatory OTAs and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the sooner you can get into wherever you get in, the sooner you can get the playbook in your hand. And the sooner you can get the playbook in your hand, the sooner you can get acclimated. And the sooner you can get acclimated, the sooner you can learn the blocking style of your offensive line. So I just think it would be a good idea for him to go ahead, find him one, and start visiting. He ain't even started visiting anybody. He ain't even
But
scheduled a
guess,
visit yet, man.
hey,
That's
but
it.
guess what though,
That's what
Trey?
blowing my mind.
But guess what? You already said who run the same scheme that he was
It's
just
two
playing in.
teams. It's two teams he can go to.
so
There's a
he
third
so
team.
he
There's a
already
third team that run the same scheme, but San Diego said they're not interested in him either.
but I'm pretty sure he's looking at one of these two teams that we're talking about right now. I'm pretty sure if Dalvin Cook sitting back, he's looking at these different players and the possibilities. Like you say, why go and rush to try to get to the OT? I already know the offense pretty much. So that's why he might be being a little patient. But I really feel like he's gonna lean toward the Dolphins. If you from Florida, you feel what I'm saying, and they got the
Hmm.
space, it's like, it make more sense. Not saying that that's where he said he gonna go, or I just want to see him down there because I would like to see how that turn out with him and the rest of those speedsters they got over there. I just
With
want to see how
Hill,
that'll
and you
turn
talk
out.
about Hill and Waddle, and now they got
Waddle,
Robbie Anderson down there, and they got some speed down there, man. They trying to do something down there. They still got Jalen Phillips on the defense. They got a few things going on, man. But at the end of the day, they do play in the AFC East. You're talking about Aaron Rodgers led Jets now. You're talking about Josh Allen, possibly with a Stephon Diggs less Bills. You're talking about a Patriots that could possibly have Mac 10 and D Hop. All right, this is not a cupcake division anymore like it was when Brady was running this thing. But we'll see which way he decides to go, man. Will he go to Brees Hall, to go help Brees Hall and Aaron Rodgers and get there in New York, or is he going to, or is he going in your mind, most likely, come on back down to Florida, get down to Miami, and help them people get where they need to get to, man, to become more than they actually are.
I just feel like
What the?
I'm a Bucks
Oh man, I
fan.
can't even hear you
So
right now. Hold on one second.
we are.
Yeah, dog. We live again, man. So at the end of the day, there's multiple opportunities for Dalvin Cook. It's just is he going which way is he gonna go, and is he gonna come back home? But let's go ahead and get to the number three player in the free agency for us right now, and probably consensus, and that's your Jadavian Clowney, edge rusher. Now I think that's a lot of hype. Jadavian Clowney has never really produced all the stuff he should have produced in the NFL for being drafted as high as he's been drafted, in my personal opinion. I think he's lived off his name. He's good against the run, but not great against the pass. He doesn't give you the tackle numbers nor the sack numbers that you're truly looking for. He doesn't eat up double teams and I don't know. I don't I know he's number three consensus. We have him at number three right now. I honestly feel like his position is why he's at number three. But what say you, Face?
I just feel like Javon, he'll be better if he team up with another outstanding lineman to help, so he don't get double teamed as much. Because you're right, he can't fight off the double teams like he once did to dominate a line like he used to. But at the same time, he's still that type of defender that you have to game plan for, that could possibly change the game if he does come healthy. And so being number three, you're right, it's probably because of his position, because it ain't that many of them out there. Everybody needs a good pass rush.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a good pass rush. So that's probably why he's number three on the board. And being that his numbers ain't as great as they should be, because if it'd have been that type of pass rush, he'd probably been at number one.
Hmm.
Because
Oh, he would have never been a
everybody
free agent as many times he's been
everybody
a
needs
free
a good
agent.
pass
You got to
rush.
remember, man, this man was drafted by the Houston Texans. Then after he was drafted by the Houston Texans, he was released and ended up in Seattle. Then after he went to Seattle, there was a time when he was in Cleveland at one point, and he didn't bounce around the league, man. The boy, uh, he never
But
lived up
like you
to
said,
the hype. Never
but
was
like,
everything everybody wanted him to be, and that's not his fault. You are what you are, man.
but that's why I said it'll probably be better if he get teamed up with another outstanding lineman, somebody that he can
He done already been
actually
teamed
feed
up.
off
He
of.
was teamed up with J.J. Watt. Now, what happened there? He was teamed up in Cleveland with uh with Garrett. What happened
Yeah,
there? He ain't the boy. Ain't, look, man, he just don't live up to what they say he is. You
he
know.
might be having that Jenkins cup.
Oh yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get to number 4 on the list, man. Number 4 on this list, not there is the consensus number 4. Still not in my number 4 technically, because I still would swap this other dude that I got at number 5 ahead of him. But he has more production in the league, and yeah. So we're gonna say his name is Zeke Elliott. All right, running back from the Dallas Cowboys. He got supplanted by Tony Pollard and the lack of production. This man went from averaging 4.5 yards a rush to like 3.2 to 2.6. All right, like I've never seen a running back decline as fast as he has. And if you ask me, I think him and Leonard Fournette is what's made the running back position devalued as much as they've been devalued. You got two running backs that came out with like ballyhooed when they came out, like so everybody was selling their praises and singing about how good of running backs these guys are, how long they're gonna last in the league, yada yada yada, and they then came out and did absolutely Nathan. Like okay, Leonard was Leonard was lucky, but we're not gonna talk about Lucky Lenny right now. He is a free agent, by the way, also. And notice nobody is trying to pick him up either. All right. But Zeke Elliott, when you watch even if you watch the videos he's putting out there on Twitter, man, and on Instagram, man, slow. He jumps slow. He's slow against ropes. You can't be slow against air, dog. You got to be like. But he is the number 4 free agent out there, running back. He could help a
Zeke
few teams.
is washed up.
Washed up. It's
Zeke is
time for the
washed up.
retire.
He want to be a model. He need to go into modeling. He want to model his hair.
His
For real,
hair
he
and
want to be a hair
and
model.
his belly.
Yeah, he want to be a hair model or something. Zeke washed up. I want. They were saying Zeke 110 for what?
For what? For what?
We don't need
I
none of
don't
them
need no
booty
Zeke
boys.
Elliott.
No, 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 no.
I'm good on that one, man.
We don't.
I don't need no Zeke.
We don't need you, Zeke. We all right. Yeah. To the next one.
We just shared the Lucky Lenny fat, man. We just shared the
Yeah.
Lucky Lenny fat. So I do not need a
Yeah.
Zeke. So, but there are
I've
there
been
are some
seeing that though.
opportunities for him.
I've been seeing that. Yeah, I've been seeing that Zeke ain't really into football like that no more.
Nah, man.
No,
Nah. All right, so we already covered Zeke. Really, the places he could go, he's got the same opportunities everybody else got. But ain't nobody interested because of the things that me and you just got done saying in the brief conversation we had about him. And in my honest opinion, he is only worth the brief conversation that we just had. I will talk about him. I will cover him, and I will give y'all all the news and updates, give you stats and all that stuff there. But in my eyes, the man has performed below the potential that was expected of him and that he should have expected of himself. I don't think he put in everything he should have put in since Cabo, and that just is what it is. So let's get to number 5. And number 5 on this list for top free agent is Kareem Hunt. Now, ain't nobody talking about Kareem Hunt. I understand that the man had the issues he had in Kansas City. All right, that's why they got rid of him. I think he hit his girlfriend or he did something like that to that effect. All right, and that's what ended up getting him shipped to Cleveland. Since he went to Cleveland, he worked perfectly in a tandem role. He can catch the ball at the backfield. He runs like a beast. If you give him 100 something carries, 150 carries, he'll get you 1,000 yards every time. But it's all about the right fit, right situation. I think he's a running back that everybody can get on the cheap And to be honest with you, I think that Tampa Bay would be the best spot for Kareem, just because of the fact that it would be for the cheap. It would give him an opportunity to be in a backfield and possibly even taking over the number one spot. Because Rashad White's good, but Kareem Hunt's better. And if you look at what was going on with the Cleveland Browns and how they did the running back tandem with Kareem Hunt and my boy out of Georgia, my other little man out of Georgia, the running back, I honestly feel like, yeah, yeah, I think that he could be well served in Tampa. I also think the Denver Broncos are probably going to end up looking into his services. I believe that the LA Rams, I know that they're looking for another running back, so I think that they'll possibly be looking into his services. Of course, the Jets, because of the fact that the Brees Hall coming back from the ACL would be a possible landing spot as far as teams with money that could possibly be looking for that type of role or that type of runner. But what say you, Face?
Hey, I want him in Tampa. That's why I was so I was already overseas for a year. Finished talking about it in between. Zeke ain't even worth the L, but I like Kareem Hunt, and I would love to have him in Tampa if we could get him. But there's
Yeah.
so many other people with so much money and need of a running back of his caliber, you know. So it would be lovely if he was falling our lap. Well, I don't even think we got $2 million in cap space though.
No,
I,
we don't. Well, that's why we're
we
talking
got
about.
that $30 million
We
hit messing
look.
with Brady.
Yeah, and we just finally signed our free agents, I believe. Finally, I mean not our free agents, but our draft picks finally. So Kalijah
Yeah.
Kancey signed. All of Yaya Diaby signed. Um, and what you call it? Other dude we drafted, Cody Mock, been signed as well. So yeah, We've we don't have much, but we are talking about
But that, but
resetting a couple of deals and stuff like that. So everything's possible, especially when you're dealing with Jason Light. He's a capologist beast.
And plus, on top of that, it's like I say, it's also up to the players. What type of situation do they want to be in? Someone will take less cap space just to come play in certain teams. Only thing you can do is put it on the table and allow them to make that choice. But I just said that I would love to have him in Tampa. I don't know if they ever had those talks or whatever, but Kareem Hunt, he'll be a good fit down here. I feel like that'll be a good.
Yeah, I think it would too. Face, I got a bonus question I want to ask you about how you feel about, man. So today in the news, there's been a lot going on with Saquon Barkley. They finally, they rescinded their $14 million offer to him back in March. They had offered him $14 million a year, and he turned it down, so they took it back like bump you. And then after that, they franchise tagged him. He has yet to sign the franchise tag, and breaking news out of the New York Giants mandatory minicamps is that since Saquon's not there and Eric Gray, Matt Breida, and Gary Brightwell are not up to snuff at running back, they've been putting Paris Campbell, wide receiver, the bum from the Colts, at running back. Do you think it'd be a good idea to go ahead and pay that man?
Yeah, I know, yeah, but if you going, but that's the thing. They looking at your durability. See, those type of teams, they know certain intricate parts of your health, and you feeling like you still the same person. To them, it's like you're really damaged goods. If they felt like he was gonna be able to hold up throughout the season, I know they won't have no problem paying him because everybody knows Saquon. He's a game changer.
Hold
You
up.
got some.
They just got done paying Daniel Jones. That's why they franchise tagged him. It's because
But
they paid Daniel Jones a king's ransom like he liked that. 17 touchdowns on the year.
and that's probably why Saquon ain't wanna. That's probably why he don't want to sign him because he probably think, how the hell you gonna give him all this money and not pay me?
Saquon said you
Saquon is
disrespected him.
he's a game changer. It's like certain players, they good players, but then you got those who can actually change the game,
Yeah.
change the outcome of a game. So Saquon is one of them players. But at the same time, he been dealing with a lot of injuries and the team knows certain things that we don't know. They won't even put it out there for another team to hear about it. So just in case they need to trade you something. But I feel like either he gonna have to be patient, sign that the little franchise tag, and see what comes play out the year, and see what they do. Being that they just paid this other dude, you feel what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
feel like you'll be next in line. Sometimes you just got to be a little patient and let these people work out these different contracts so they can know exactly what they're gonna give you. If they don't pay them, play this year out, do your best, find you another spot. But I know it
Exactly.
won't be long. It won't be long for he'll find a spot to land in real fast. That dude, if
You
he
know,
healthy,
he ain't the only running
if
back
he
in this
healthy, he's a hell of a.
situation too. Now, I mean, there's a if you really want to talk about running backs in a crazy situation that's like his, look at Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, the same situation. They done franchise tagged him out in Vegas. He ain't signed the franchise tag yet. He ain't showed up to camp yet, and he feels disrespected as well. All right,
But
he,
that,
he
hey,
led the league in rushing last year. All right, how
let's
you
be
going?
real.
Uh,
Let's be real. Some of them
okay.
dudes really. Some of them dudes really don't like no OTAs, and they they taking the page out of a Dominic Sue book. A Dominic Sue, he'll wait till all that's over to sign. I'm not obligated. I'm not obligated to do any of this until I'm signed on right.
All right, you're right.
So if you want to save yourself a few days out the sun, and you already know my workout schedule. I know I'm ready. I'm physically conditioned to play a game of football. If you feel like that, then that's why these dudes do that sometimes. They snubbing the team. Y'all don't want to pay me. I don't want to play. I don't want to play in the sun today. So I'm gonna wait until we really getting out here to play, and I'll be back then. So sometimes it's a mental strategy they play, just like the teams play with these dudes. It ain't really no loyalty. They really they don't respect these dudes like they should in certain senses. Some of these dudes, it depends. I done seen it look greedy from either side, but he want his money, so I feel like he's supposed to get paid. He's supposed to get compensated for his work, and he's one of the running backs that I feel like they shouldn't have a problem with paying. So whatever going on with that is probably a little deeper. You know what I mean? But that's somebody you're like. If a person is producing, why not pay him? Saquon just ain't been on the field as much, and I feel
Bro,
like that's what it is.
the
It's during
Saquon definitely has been injured. Okay, he tore his ACL, was out not last year, the year before last, and then the year before that he was out a little bit as well. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I think it also comes back to the position, man. These people don't want to play the running back position, which makes no sense to me because at the end of the day, nobody else touches the ball as much as the running back outside of the center and the quarterback. Outside the center and the quarterback, there ain't nobody else on the team who's gonna touch the ball as many times as the
but
running back.
but
And then
guess
and
what?
then hold up now, and it's not just about touching the ball. When playoff time come around, who do you need? You need a running back to grind that clock down and to grind that game down, man. I understand people want to say you can get a running back in any round, but you a Buccaneer fan like I'm a Buccaneer fan. You know you can't get a running back in any round. Running backs don't just grow on trees and walk up
You
and say,
you
"Hey man,
no
I can play."
you could get a running back out of any round, but guess what? You
They ain't
gonna
gonna be no
be
good.
having any type of running game.
Exactly.
you just your running game gonna be any round running.
Yep.
So I feel like they like you say they do all the analytics, and they probably have already done it. As far as the money that they pay him towards the plays that he actually plays. And I think that playing a part in the reason why they don't want to just come off that check because I feel like they already did all the numbers where he only played X amount of games since he been playing here. So now
Hmm.
they feel like you owe them for this time. They don't say it, but the team they're like, you owe us. Really, you haven't even played X amount of games and we done paid you a certain amount of money. So that's what that come down to them not wanting to pay you. It's not what you're capable of actually doing sometimes. It's what have you really done as far as like the numbers. When you're in there, yeah, it's gravy. But look at the times that you ain't here. You know how I go. Availability gets you compensated. A lot of players playing games and they extended their careers by being available at different times. You got some players that ain't the greatest of players, but they always have been available to their team, and that's why they still under contract. And that's NFL and NBA. It's like you have to be available to your team in order for them to be able to compensate you. So I feel like that's probably what the issue is with Saquon. I feel like they just already broke down the numbers, how much they have given you to the numbers that has the games that you played. So if I'm in something in a
Man,
business,
you got to remember, Saquon is still on his rookie contract because you ain't paid him nothing yet. They ain't paid
he
him
ain't
nothing
played
yet.
really. He ain't played that much. So guess what they
he,
thinking?
He rushed for 2,000 yards the first year in his career. First year in the NFL, he rushed for 2,000 yards. Next year in the NFL, he rushed for like 1,100 yards. The third year, he got hurt. He only rushed for like 43 yards or 80 something yards because he didn't even. I don't even think he made it out the first week that year. Then the fourth year, he rushed for 800 and some odd yards. Coming back, he still wasn't fully back from the ACL. And last year, which was his fifth year, he went ahead and they put him on the play and play on the fifth year option, and he ran for 1,300 yards. He gave you 10 rushing touchdowns, and he received for another 400 yards or 500 yards. He led the team in receptions with 57 receptions. All right, so he led the team in
So he played for
receptions.
the New
He
York
had
Giants.
10. Huh?
He played for the New York Giants.
Exactly. Why? So why do you think that? Why
Who was
don't
their
you think?
receiver?
Why don't you think that
Who
he should be valuable?
what
Look what he just
what
did
receiver they got over
for the
there?
New York Giants. What is your other options? If you're the New York Giants, what's your other options? You putting a wide receiver at running back right now. If you put a wide receiver at running back, you ain't got no running back.
Yeah, they trying something. They ain't got no receiver. If your running back got 50 catches and he got more than your number one receiver, it's a lot of trouble. That's a lot of that sound
It's
that
a
sound like a
problem.
recipe for disaster.
It's a
If
problem,
your
man.
number one receiver is your running back with
Yeah,
55 or 57
57,
catches,
57.
I don't know why did they pay Daniel Jones? That should be the question.
That's what I'm
Now
saying.
now we asking more. Why would you play that guy? I'm for real, man. 57 catches.
Yep, led the team.
I think every tight end and most every other team got more than 57 catches.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I
Cade
can name
Otton.
about
Cade
15
Otton was
tight
a
ends.
rookie last year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think he had 57 catches. You know
So
what I mean?
so
So
hey, so guess what? So now we know why Saquon is like the team. I wouldn't want him to don't sign me. Matter of fact, y'all play. I'll go hurry up and sign this 1 year contract. I don't even want to play with them no more.
yeah, I'm done.
For real.
You got to
Cause
remember
guess
though.
what?
Hold up,
Now, cause
he from New York too, though, dog. He from like
it don't matter.
literally he
Guess
from the
what?
city.
If you gonna continue to play under those conditions, you are going to continue to be a hurt individual.
Yep.
If you're the number one receiver with 57, you're the running back, you're gonna stay hurt because guess what? You're gonna have to carry too much of the load every
Hmm.
season. They looking for you. So guess what, man? Sometimes, hey,
Sometimes you got to know when to hold, and sometimes you got to know when to fold.
let
And
them
on
let
that
them
note,
rescind that.
I'm gonna let y'all know, my man Faith, he giving y'all real live facts, you guys. Y'all asked for his opinion. He gave it to you. He honestly feels the same way I feel on a lot of things. We might waver in some, but at the end of the day, my man know what he talking about, dog. You on point, Faith. I'm with you.
Yes, sir.
So we're
Yes,
gonna go
sir.
ahead and end this episode today, man. We're gonna give y'all another one real quick. So we end this now and hit y'all with another one. Please like, subscribe. This your boy Trey from
Subscribe,
Game
man.
Day with Trey, man. That's my co-host Faith, and we out.
Peace.
Peace.